Hi, preschoolers. Mrs. Russell here, and I am sitting out on my deck today. So that's why I have my sunglasses on. It's so bright, and if I turn the other way, it just doesn't work. So the sunglasses are gonna have to stay on. How are you guys doing? Okay, today is Tuesday, and we have some awesome stuff to talk about. First of all, you've been learning about the long I sound that says its own name. It says I. And today, one of your fun activities is to look around and find 3 items to share with us. And remind your families to take a picture and share them with your teacher that have a long I sound. So it would say I, like ice cream. Do you guys like ice cream? Mrs. Russell was just eating some ice cream. Chocolate ice cream, actually. It's my favorite. Okay, so let's start by reading our book. We have a fun book today called The Darkest Dark, and the pictures in this book are so neat, which is kind of funny that it's so bright outside, and I'm reading a story about darkness. Darkest Dark is by Chris Hadfield. Must be an astronaut. It says astronaut Chris Hadfield. And the pictures, it's illustrated by the Fan Brothers. It has amazing pictures in it. So neat. I'll show you some of them. The Darkest Night. Look at these pictures. They're beautiful. Speaking of artwork, it was so fun to see your Earth Day artwork that we saw last Friday on the Zoom call. Chris was an astronaut, an important and very busy astronaut. When it was time to take a bath, he told his mother, "I'd love to, but I'm saving the planet from aliens." I think he has a big imagination. When it was time to get out of the bath and go to bed, he told his father politely, because astronauts are always polite, "Sorry, no can do. I'm on my way to Mars." An astronaut's work is never done, so astronauts do not like to sleep. Uh-oh. Do you like to go to bed and go to sleep? Most kids don't, do they? But a lot of adults do. I love to go to sleep. I love my comfortable bed. But their parents do. "You're a big boy now," said Chris's father. "You have to sleep in your own bed." He wanted to sleep with his mom and dad. And Chris tried. He really did. But his room was dark. Very dark. The kind of dark that attracts the worst sort of aliens. I hope you can see that with the sun so bright, because the pictures in this book are so pretty. But his parents meant it. Chris was going to sleep in his own bed tonight. His mom and his dad checked under his bed and in the closet and even in his underwear drawer. They declared the room 100% alien-free. 100% alien-free. No aliens there. They tucked Chris in. They turned on the nightlight. They even gave him a special bell to ring if he got nervous. Clang, 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 clang. Clang, clang. You think he used the bell a lot? They took away the bell. Uh-oh. And then his father said something that worried Chris even more than the dark did. "No more peep, young man. I'm afraid we'll all be too tired to go next door tomorrow." One more peep. I don't think that made sense. I'm going to read it again. "One more peep, young man, and I'm afraid we'll all be too tired to go next door tomorrow." But tomorrow would be a special day. A very special day. Chris had to go next door. His life pretty much depended on it. What do you think he's going to do next door? I don't really know. Something special. So Chris stayed in his own bed without a peep. it took a long time to fall asleep, but when he did, he had his very favorite dream. I wonder what he's dreaming about. Look at this dog. He flew his spaceship all the way to the moon. Of course, he wants to be an astronaut, so of course that's what he dreams about. Chris and Albert, the sign says. The next day seemed to last forever, but finally, when the moon was shining over the lake and the summer wind was ruffling the leaves of the trees, Chris ran next door. Very dark. What do you think he's gonna do? I see people in there. The house was already full of people, all gathered around the TV, the only TV on the whole island. Oh, so he lives on an island. Where do you think he lives? Can you name any islands? I can think of Hawaii. Chris found a spot where he could see through the crowd, and what he saw was astronauts, real live astronauts on the actual faraway moon. They were wearing puffy white suits and jumping for joy, jumping so high because there was so much less gravity there. There's the astronauts. The grown-ups, huddled around the TV, were amazed. Their whole lives long, they'd never expected to see this sight. Even Chris, who had been to the moon just the night before, was amazed. He never really noticed how dark it was there. Outer space was the darkest dark ever. Seems like I might have skipped a page here. Nope. Okay, this was a page with just pictures. No words. Looks like they're looking at the moon on the dock. There's a boat next to the dock. That night, Chris did a little experiment. He turned off the lights in his room, even the night light. It was still dark. Very, very dark. There were still shadows that looked a little, well, alien. Nothing had changed, but Chris had changed. Do you think he's still scared of the dark or not? Staring out the window at the moon, he had seen that the darkness of the universe was so much bigger and deeper than the darkness in his room, but he was not afraid. He wanted to explore every corner of the night sky. For the first time, Chris could see the power and mystery and velvety black beauty of the dark. Wow. He's not scared anymore. Oh, wow. And then he realized, you're never really alone there. Your dreams are always with you, just waiting. Big dreams about the kind of person you want to be. Wonderful dreams about the life you will live. Wow. Very cool. I think Chris knows what he wants to do when he grows up. Dreams that actually can come true. Remember how we talked about the author of our story? His name's Chris Hadfield. Maybe he wrote this story about himself, since it said he was an astronaut. Oh, here's some information about him at the back. About Chris Hadfield. Growing up, Chris Hadfield spent every summer at his family's cottage on Stag Island in southern Ontario. Like just about everyone else on the island, the Hadfields didn't have a television set. So late in the evening of July 20th, 1969, Chris and his family went to the neighbor's cottage to watch the Apollo 11 landing on the TV. When he saw Neil Armstrong step onto the surface of the moon, Chris's life was changed forever. Wow, that's the beginning. So that tells you about the author and how he actually was an astronaut, and he wrote this story about himself when he was a little boy. Wow, here's some pictures of him when he was a real life astronaut. Pretty cool. That ends the darkest dark. Okay, we're talking about shadows this week, and of course we already talked about the long I and the sound that it makes, like is an ice cream. Can you think of any other long I words? We're gonna have you send pictures of what you find, and then one of the activities you get to do today in your packet is this Will It Cast a Shadow page. So you're gonna need a block, a plastic cup, scissors, glasses, and a water bottle, okay? Most of those things you should have around your house. And you're gonna make a prediction as to whether you think they will cast a shadow. So you need sunshine, definitely sunny out for me right now. And you're gonna make a prediction. You guys know what a prediction is? Kind of like a guess. So before you even try it, before you get your materials out, you're gonna make a guess. And you're gonna circle yes or no. Do you think a block will cast a shadow? And then you'll do the same thing with the other objects. Make all your predictions, only circle one yes or no on each one. Have somebody help you, and then get your items out and find some sunshine. And on the result here, this column, you're gonna actually circle yes, they cast a shadow, or no, they didn't. Okay, so that should be fun. I should do that right now with all this sunshine. Okay, thanks for listening, preschoolers. I hope you have a fabulous day, and we are so proud of you, and we miss you so much, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.